can call ourselves to something more. Now, what can happen sometimes in this is sort of a compass. What often people get caught up in on these journeys is the right and the wrong. That's wrong, not right for me, right? And that's true. We have to make judgments about truth and falsehood, and we've got to make right and wrong. But on these kinds of journeys, when you're caught between the ideal and the real, it's probably not as fruitful. And we want to suggest that maybe a compass for getting through the difficulties or the challenges, let's say, of discernment, is to ask the question, as I'm moving through this, what's the most life-giving choice I can make? What's a choice that expresses a healthy way of responding to the situation? Am I growing in spiritual maturity by making this choice? Or am I stepping into spiritual immaturity, into life-diminishing choices? Does that feel different to you than right and wrong? Because in that sense, when we're thinking about what's a healthy choice, what's a mature choice, what's a way that's going to enhance life, we know that choice is incomplete. There are going to be other choices I'm going to have to make on the road to vitally living the gift. If I get into right and wrong, well, that's wrong. I take my marbles and go away until I find the right place for me to give my gift. Okay. So again, that this compass is significant because the paradoxical wisdom of the gospel is that as we enter into giving ourselves, making as good a life-giving choice as I can make in this moment, and accepting the consequences of what's incomplete and unfinished and burdensome, that somehow God meets me in that, and I actually get myself back again. So the very process of my willingly offering the gift in conditions that are not always perfect, but are in fact life-giving, creates an energy in me where I discover something about myself that I probably would never have known had I not been put in the situation I was put in. Cooperating with that grace, being willing to work with it, recognizing when it's unhealthy and saying this is unhealthy. Asking for support, all those kinds of things. But it's that very human graced journey where the gift we thought we knew can be transformed in ways we had never hoped to create, never had hope for. Helena, when we were talking about this, offered us a beautiful quote, and at some point we want to use that with you in the future, but one of the aspects of it is this idea that the gift works on us. It's not really something, it's something we have, it's been given to us, but it's also got a power because it works on us. And as I reflected on that idea, my awareness of that gift awakens, if I trust it, a generosity in me that I may not have known I had. And at some point, despite hesitancy and self-doubt, I do come to understand that that gift was given for my joy and the world's needs. And then we come to accept the task of living that gift and all the disciplines, spiritual and otherwise, intellectual, moral, whatever, that are needed for me to vitally live that gift. I give myself over to it. It works on me. I get up at a certain hour in the morning to pray. I go to certain classes and renew my knowledge. I take on the discipline of being good at what has been given to me to do. I don't let the gift live out in the field somewhere and go into get all weeded out. So I would imagine that there are many stories in this room about this dynamic. So I want to take a minute. And if you had to tell a story, you're not going to have to, but if you had, tell a story from your ministry life that reminds you of some of the dynamism that I've been talking about, what would that story be? What would a story about growing in maturely, healthily giving a gift in ministry? What's your story? Your story sound anything like his stories? Would your story tell a tale of transformation? I want to invite us to hear the stories he told us about this transformation. And I offer it to you again as another symbol for you to think about your own journey. So Jesus speaks to us about salt, leaven, and light. And these are from Matthew. You are the salt of the earth. But if salt loses its taste, with what can it be seasoned? It is no longer good for anything but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city set on a mountain cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and then put it under a bushel basket. It is set on a lampstand, where it gives light to all in the house. Just so, your light must shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your heavenly Father. And then later in Matthew, he spoke to them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of wheat flour until the whole batch was leavened. We know that the dynamism that we have been called into because of the gospel is transformational. Jesus has told us this over and over again. And so this morning, we're going to take some time to think about and reflect on this dynamism of gift and task in our own life. The dynamism, you can, I use the words ideal and real.